Hey everyone, welcome back to DIY Beauty on Purpose. My name is Leonette and I'm so excited that you are here with me today. Alright, so this small little bench I actually got off of Facebook Marketplace, and I just love that it was solid wood. So also one thing that I love is that it has storage. The seat opens up and it's like a little bench. It's a hot mess, but we're going to clean it up. We are also going to change this part here. I do not like the hearts. So as mentioned, the first thing I want to do is remove that top portion. So I'm just going to remove these little buttons that is on the side, and then lucky enough they were screws, so I was able to unscrew it, and then I'm going to use that part as a guide so I can cut a new piece of wood that fits a little bit more my style. So once I had it cut to size, I did place it and it was a perfect fit. So this doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you have to make multiple cuts, but thank God it actually worked out and it was a perfect fit. So all I had to do was making sure that it was leveled, and then I pre-drilled some holes using the holes that were already on the bench, and then using screws that were long enough to hold everything together, I placed 2 on each side. It was really easy and I am loving this style way better than the hearts. Alright, so now I'm going to give everything just a pretty good scrub. I'm going to use my shop vac here and just remove all the dirt or the dust, webs. I mean, it was so bad. I think they had it outside at one point. It was just so bad. I'm going to use some Awesome from the Dollar Tree. If you've never used it, it works really well. And I'm going to use a wet rag and just remove all the dirt. It literally took me about 45 minutes because I had to go back and forth again and again to wipe it until everything was clean. And then I'm going to give everything a good sand. I am using a 150 grit sand. That way everything's going to be removed. Any flaky finish that it already had is going to be removed. All right, so I dusted it off with a rag, and now we are going to just put some of this shellac over it just to seal anything that may be stain wise, because there is so much orange coming out that I have no doubt that when I paint it white, it's going to bleed through, and I don't want to go through that. So I'm going to give it just one rough coat of shellac. I am going to use a new chippy brush, but I am going to throw it away right after. So if you're going to do something like this, make sure that it's something that you can toss after. It worked out perfect that I was outdoors because the shellac does have a stronger scent to it, but I covered it as best as I could. And again, I am just going to throw away the little chippy brush because it's just not worth cleaning it up. It is oil based, and so yeah, it's not worth it. So I let it fully dry, and then I'm just going to start giving it one coat of these Kills stain blocking primer because I just want to make sure there's not going to be any stain. So I'm just going to give one coat to the whole thing. Alright, so it's going to be kind of hard to see, but hopefully you can. There's some yelling right here that is still coming through. I must have missed some areas because there's some there, as well as, let me see, right here. Do you see that yelling? And I think that's it. So I'm going to get my shellac again. Let the primer dry really well. Now I'm gonna get my shellac again and just kind of touch up those spots, and then I'll be able to put the chalk paint on. So after I applied the shellac, you can see how yellow it got just on some spots that I added the shellac, but no big deal. Now I'm going to be using a paint by Mango Paint. It is fantastic. I'm going to have Mango's website down in the description box so that you can find their paint. It is a really good paint. I've never used it before, but it's a beautiful color. It's like an antique white, almost like an off-white, and it's a little different than what I normally use because I normally use a bright white. Once it was fully dry, I did give it 2 coats, by the way. I am going to place a stencil here. I've used this French stencil quite a while. It's a reusable stencil I got off of Amazon, and I believe it's on my Amazon store, which is linked down below. And I'm just going to start dabbing some charcoal Rust-Oleum chalk paint and a chalk paint brush, and I think it turned out super cute. I love this style. I took it back outside, this time on my porch, just to sand it down. I do want it to have more of a distressed look, so I'm just gonna scuff off the edges, and it's so much quicker and effective with my palm sander, but you can certainly do it by hand with a sandpaper. I am using 150 grit sandpaper, so I'm just gonna start sanding off all the edges, kind of like just where it would naturally distress. That's what I'm focusing on. And then I just wiped it really well, and now with a spray top coat, I'm just gonna spray the stencil. That way it's gonna seal in first. And I'm going to put some gloves on because we're going to start applying the top coat. This is polyurethane by Vermilion. It's in the crystal clear, and I am using my sponge applicator, which is awesome. If you are going to apply a top coat, highly recommend using a sponge applicator. This is actually half of one. They come really big circles, so I just cut it in half and it works really well. You're basically just applying it and wiping it on, and it's super easy. I gave it 2 full coats everywhere, front, top, bottom, everywhere. I'm going to add this screw to the back of the bench because then we're going to add just a decorative wreath here, and it makes it so much easier to hang right there with a jute string. And I think this bench looks awesome. Look at the before, and here's the after. I am in love with this bench. I cannot wait to put it up for sale. Unfortunately, I can't keep it, but I hope it goes to a beautiful home. I love it.
If you enjoy DIY home decor, make sure you subscribe to our channel. I post every single week, so make sure you hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss any of the content.
All right, for the next DIY, I am going to take this pillow. It's an old pillow. It is stained, it is broken, but I'm going to take some of this drop cloth, and I'm going to cut a piece to cover 1/2 of the pillow, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to use some hot glue to seal in 2 ends, and then we're going to leave one of the frayed ends open. And I use hot glue because it's just so much easier, but you can certainly sew it if you'd like, or you can even use some fabric tape and then just iron it on. I'm going to flip it inside, not inside out, but outside in. And then we're going to start working on a different fabric, and we're going to create the other half of the pillow cover. This is a nautical kind of theme fabric that I recently got at Walmart, and not Walmart, I think it was Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to cut a piece that's going to be perfect to cover the opposite side of the pillow. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hot glue 2 ends, and then we're going to flip it outside in, and then we're going to apply it, or not apply it, but put it on the pillow. My friend, I want to remind you that my Etsy shop is up and running. I add new farmhouse style decals all the time. Check it out. It is linked down below in the description box. All of my decals have absolutely free shipping. And yeah, just check it out and let me know what you think. And I hope you love what you see. One thing to remember, especially if you do it with hot glue, if you make like any pillow or any seams with hot glue, making sure the ends are really pushed out so that you have it nicely made. So as I mentioned, we're just going to place it on the pillow now. So basically I want to put in the nautical theme fabric first, and I'm going to make sure the pillow is really in there. And as you can tell, I made the covers just a little smaller than the actual pillow, so it fits really snug. And then I'm going to put on the drop cloth one, and I think it's so stinking cute. I've done this before for a fall themed pillow, and I just love the look. I love that it's so easy to make with hot glue, and really you can customize it with whatever fabric and for every season. Friends, today's video is in collaboration with some amazing and talented friends of mine, Kristen Kay, Alli from Actually Alli, and Lisa from Crafting My Best Life with Lisa Marie. We're all bringing you some furniture flips and even more DIYs. So I highly encourage you to visit my description box. There is a playlist there that you can find with all of their videos with tons more of inspiration. Check them out. And I hope that you love their channel so much that you join their family as well.
If you are enjoying this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel grow and helps this video reach more people.
For the next DIY, I'm going to take this thrifted box that I got for 99 cents. Such a great deal. It is old, but it was actually pretty good shape. Then I cut out these 2 pieces of 1x3s into about 10 inches long. Then I'm going to put them to the sides on the inside, and I'm just going to mark where I want them so that I know where to put some wood glue, because we're going to attach them to each side with some brad nails, but I also want to add the wood glue because it just allows it to be a lot more secure. And the glue bot that you saw me applying the glue with, I do have that on my Amazon store. Check it out. I have a lot of my favorite supplies in my Amazon store, so it is linked down below for you to check out. All right, so now I am going to brad nail using my Ryobi 18-volt nailer, and I'm just going to add about 5 or 6 of them on each side. I'm now going to take this big dowel that I got at Walmart, and I'm just going to mark where I need to make a cut, making sure that it fits nicely snug in between both boards. Then I'm going to drill some holes on each end. This drill bit is a little smaller than what the screw is, so that way the screw can have something to hold on to. So I'm just going to place it there temporarily, and I'm going to mark where I need to pre-drill some holes on the boards, and then I'm going to pre-drill the screws onto the boards. That way they're already on there, and it's a little easier to attach the dowel. So once I have the holes in, I'm going to add a little bit of wood glue to the dowel again, just to create a really tight, secure bond, and pre-drill the screws that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to leave it just a tiny little bit exposed on the other side, and that way we'll know exactly where to put the dial. Is super easy to do. If you've never used power tools, I suggest maybe start with a power drill. It is such an easy tool, and it just makes things so much easier to work with. So I'm just going to tighten the screws on each side, and then it's time to start painting. The paint that I'm going to use today is by Amy Howard, and it's a beautiful paint. They title it like in a green, but to me it's more blue. Let me know in the comments, does it look more blue or more green to you? I don't know. To me, it's a little bit more green, but I love it. Gorgeous color and great coverage. I'm just going to do 1 coat, although 2 would be preferred if you want full coverage. I am going to distress this box quite heavily, so 1 coat was really sufficient. I'm going to paint all the sides as well as the inside. For the side that the inside wall had with a felt, I'm just going to add some more of that Nautical fabric, and I'm going to hot glue it in place. That way it's going to cover the felt. I tried to remove the felt. It was not coming off. It was stuck on there. So I said, you know what? It's okay. I'm just going to cover it with some fabric. And I thought using the Nautical fabric that I used earlier was perfect for the color of the box. So once I had it attached there, then it's time to add a stencil. I'm going to use another of these reusable stencil. This is a clock one with a French design in the middle. I'm not going to use the clock portion, but I am going to use the center portion, and I'm going to use a sponge applicator here. It's like a makeup sponge, and I'm going to again use the charcoal Rust-Oleum chalk paint to stencil it, and I think it looks super cute. And then once again, I'm going to use my palm sander to sand it down and create a very farmhouse distressed, worn out look that I absolutely love. But of course, you don't have to. If you do not like the stressed look, you can always leave it just as it was, and I think it was beautiful. I'm also going to distress the handles and the top just to kind of everything match. I did add some greenery to the inside of the box to keep it kind of simple. Oh, I did sand the inside a little bit with a sanding block, and I did add some of this top coat from Rust-Oleum just to seal everything in, especially the side with the stencil. That way everything's going to be sealed in. But let me remind you what this box looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. Such a beautiful box. I love that I added those handles. It makes it so much more grand and just so beautiful. All right, friends, so this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it has inspired you to create your own home decor all on a budget. And I hope it inspires you to go to the thrift store and find some things to flip. But if you are visiting for the first time, or if you're coming from the collaboration, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you consider joining our YouTube family. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite from today. I do have a playlist here as well as another video if you want to watch, but don't forget to check out the playlist from the collaboration down in the description box so you can get tons more of furniture flip inspiration. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.